A Shanghai resident recently visited a nearby Biyide supermarket and discovered that the store had temporarily closed down. Despite the closure, the shelves inside the supermarket were neatly arranged with a variety of products still on display, and large promotional posters adorned the windows.
I went out to buy some Coke and Sprite today because we're having a hot pot tonight. But to my surprise, Biyide had suddenly closed. I thought it was just one or two stores, but it turns out all Biyide stores in Shanghai are shut down. I used to come here for soy sauce and drinks because the prices were cheap. It's quite a shock to see such a convenient supermarket close without any warning. Everything inside the store is still there. Doing business these days is tough.
I heard about Biyide closure online. Yesterday, when I was coming home from work, I saw that the Biyide near my home was indeed closed. I was a regular customer. Their product range and prices suited the needs of residents in our area. Biyide was much cheaper than other supermarkets for the same products. During the pandemic, Biyide staff even set up a group chat for residents to place orders and offered home delivery services. Back then, I thought Biyide employees had a decent job during such tough times. It was running fine during the pandemic, but now it has suddenly closed. The employees have lost their jobs overnight.
The woman who filmed the video noted the challenging business environment in Shanghai in 2023. She mentioned that many physical stores had shut down, leading to unexpected unemployment for many. Major factories are under strong financial pressure, she added. Even industries known for their good revenue, such as the internet and real estate sectors, are failing to make ends meet in the current economic climate. People who once enjoyed high salaries are now facing tougher times and the risk of sudden job loss, especially those burdened with hefty mortgage payments.
People said the chain supermarkets were closing, so I came to see for myself. This Biyide store is indeed closed. Just a few days ago, I bought a drink here. Now, I'm at another Biyide branch, and it's also closed. But there's no notice on the store's glass windows. I don't know what happened.
Another resident visited several Biyide supermarkets and shared insights into why it might be exiting the Chinese market. According to him, Biyide, a German budget supermarket, has been operating in China for many years and was previously well regarded for its quality and business. They recalled their personal shopping experiences at Biyide, highlighting the pleasant store layout and overall positive consumer experience. The sudden closure, they speculated, could be due to two reasons. Either Biyide is planning to leave the Chinese market, or it's struggling in the highly competitive supermarket sector, especially as a low-profile brand without strong marketing efforts. A leaked letter from Biyide to its suppliers suggests that the supermarket's long-term losses and a deteriorating retail market environment led to a financial crisis. This prompted the company's board to suspend all operations, assess assets and liabilities, and hope for a turnaround. But the official reason for the closure has not been disclosed by Biyide. The former CEO of Biyide Supermarkets, Jia Hongbin, revealed in mainland media reports that the core reason for the shutdown was a cash flow interruption. Despite Biyide not officially disclosing the reason for its closure, the news has sparked a wave of sympathy among netizens. Comments like, "I just visited a few days ago. The closure is so sudden, the business is gone without warning, and it's hard to accept the most cost-effective supermarket downstairs is closed." All these comments reflect the community's sentiments. One user remarked, Biyide was truly a conscientious supermarket. Although it had a limited variety, its prices were affordable. It didn't raise prices even during the pandemic and was conveniently located in residential areas. Its closure is truly unfortunate. Another shared Biyide was the busiest physical supermarket near my home and the only one I frequented every other day. It's such a pity. Biyide, part of Yungui Trade, was founded in 2017 with its headquarters in Shanghai. During its rapid expansion phase, Biyide opened over 200 stores in Shanghai and Jiangsu. Most of its stores were located in communities, focusing on affordability and convenience, earning it the nickname, the Happy House for the less affluent. In April 2021, Biyide launched an online platform offering home delivery services and established 2 logistics and distribution centers in the northern and southern parts of Shanghai, each serving about 140 stores. That year, Biyide received a multi-million yuan long-term financing exclusively from Argan Capital to support its offline store expansion. Argan Capital is an independent private equity fund focused on acquiring mid-market companies in Europe. Official data shows that from 2017 to 2021, Biyide's annual compound sales growth rate was 120%, with its brand accounting for about 40% of total sales. Biyide aimed to have 800 stores by 2025. The supermarket's founder, Philipp Spengenberg, previously an executive at Aldi in Germany, stepped down from his roles as general manager and legal representative at the end of 2021, succeeded by the Chinese national Jia Hongbin. On December 18, 2023, 5 days before the closure announcement, the legal representative changed from Jia Hongbin to Jia Pengfei. Mainland media reports state that in the first half of the year, Biyide's board had discussions with potential buyers to sell the business, but nothing was finalized. Insiders revealed that from November, some Biyide stores couldn't pay their rent and there were delays in payments to suppliers. Currently, no concrete solution is visible. Biyide has entrusted a law firm to handle subsequent matters, leaving suppliers and employees awaiting a resolution. Internal sources at Biyide also cited industry saturation as a reason. 7 years ago, the discount store market was relatively empty, but now, with fierce competition from entities like Fresh Ippo outlets, Biyide faces severe challenges with the competition in the domestic market. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, China's economy has been declining with the unemployment rates soaring. Chinese consumers have become more cautious with their expenditures, posing challenges to physical stores like supermarkets and large retailers. Many of those stores are facing closures like Biyide due to the competition from different entities.
Today, I visited the once thriving Carrefour in Shanghai's Pudong Jinqiu area. The parking lot is closed and there's a notice from 2023 indicating that Jinqiu Carrefour has been closed for several months and has been abandoned for a while. The parking lot used to be almost full on weekends. Jinqiu Carrefour couldn't escape closure. Its sign is still there, but it'll soon be taken down.
Carrefour, a French retail giant that entered China in 1995, was among the first foreign retailers to introduce the hypermarket concept in China. But after nearly 3 years of pandemic-related impacts, declining sales, and soaring rental costs, the economic downturn has made it increasingly difficult for physical hypermarkets to continue operations. In 2019, Carrefour sold 80% of its business in China to the Chinese enterprise Suning.com. Since 2021, Carrefour has quietly reduced its presence in the Chinese market. In the first half of 2023 alone, Carrefour closed 106 stores in China, including its last store in Beijing in mid-September. It has already exited from major cities like Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, now completely withdrawn from China's busiest cities. Metro, another European retail giant from Germany, entered the Chinese market in 1996, but symbolized its exit by selling 80% of its China business to Walmart Holdings in 2019. Walmart, the American retail heavyweight, entered China in the same year, has gradually reduced its local market presence, closing about 130 stores in China from 2016 to 2022. Recent reports from Reuters revealed that Walmart plans to import more goods from India to reduce its dependence on China, aiming to diversify its supply chain. There are rumors that Walmart intends to move its procurement center to Vietnam. If true, this would deliver a significant blow to Chinese manufacturers and exports. Auchan, a French corporation, formed a joint venture with Ruintex Group in 2000 to operate Auchan and RT Mart brands. But after Ruintex sold its stake in the joint venture in 2017, Auchan, after 20 years in China, decided to sell its stake in the Chinese market to Alibaba, leaving the Chinese market. Tesco, the UK's largest supermarket chain, also exited the Chinese market in 2020 by transferring its remaining shares to a subsidiary of China Resources Holdings. Additionally, the last Pacific department store in Shanghai, under the Far Eastern Sogo department store group from Taiwan, closed on August 31st due to lease expiration. This coincided with the 30th anniversary of the opening of its Shuhui store, marking its exit from the Shanghai market. Even local Chinese supermarkets are not faring well, continuously facing operational difficulties and store closures.
Another supermarket in Guangdong, Guangzhou, is facing closure. Where is the way out for China's physical economy? I'm currently inside a department store on Zhongshan Avenue in Tianhe District, Guangzhou. From my video, you can see that this supermarket is running various promotional activities, including the rare half-price discounts. This department store is one of the larger ones in our area, operating for decades with 4 floors, including training institutions and fitness industries on the top floor. But they've been closing down over the past couple of years. Now, due to the expiry of the contract and lack of financial ability to continue, the supermarket has decided to temporarily suspend business.
The Guangzhou residents' video featured China Resources Vanguard, once China's leading supermarket. At its peak in 2015, the company's revenue exceeded 100 billion yuan, topping the supermarket industry. However, this year, China Resources Vanguard has been closing stores in Zhengzhou, Shenyang, Guangdong, and other places. In 2021 alone, the company shut down over 800 stores, completely leaving the markets from Shandong and Beijing. Yungui Superstores, another supermarket giant in China, is also facing operational difficulties. Recently, news of Yungui Superstores selling assets to survive debt troubles has trended on the websites of mainland China. Yunghui's financial statements show that as of the end of the third quarter this year, the company's debt-to-asset ratio reached almost 87%. Data from HiThink Flush Information Network iFind indicates that in the past 3 years, Yunghui's debt-to-asset ratio has remained high, standing at 84% at the end of 2021 and almost 88% at the end of 2022. As of September 30th, Yungui Superstore's total debt amounted to over 47 billion yuan. Facing high debt ratios and enormous financial pressures, Yungui began selling assets to navigate through these challenges. On December 20th, Yungui announced the sale of 136 million shares of Hongqi Chain to Sichuan Shangtu Investment for approximately 799 million yuan. Earlier, on December 14th, Yungui announced the sale of over 1% of its shares in Wanda Commercial Management to Dalian Yujin Trade for approximately 4.5 billion yuan. The sale of these shares is seen as financially beneficial for Yungui, with an anticipated overall profit of 612 million yuan from the Wanda deal alone. Founded in 2001 and headquartered in Fuzhou, Fujian Province, Yungui Superstores is one of the first companies in China to introduce fresh agricultural products into modern supermarkets and is among China's top 500 enterprises. Although Yungui reached its peak in 2019 with 1,440 stores, it started to decline in 2021. The then company's secretary Zhang Jingyi stated, "We are coming down the mountain." In 2021, Yungui experienced its first loss, continuing to incur losses in 2022, totaling to a loss of 6.7 billion yuan over 2 years. Entering 2023, Yungui's situation did not improve. In the first 3 quarters of the year, its revenue was over 62 billion yuan, a 12% decrease year-on-year. The net profit attributable to the parent company was only $500 million. Specifically, Yungui briefly turned a profit in Q1, with a net profit of 704 million yuan, but then lost 330 million yuan in Q2 and 321 million yuan in Q3. Concurrently, Yungui's store count has been decreasing. In 2023, the company closed 20% of its stores nationwide. This was followed by a 7% closure rate the previous year, totaling over 400 store closures in 2 years. Chinese media reports that although crowds in Chinese physical supermarkets and malls are recovering, sales remain below expectations. Among 14 major supermarket companies, 9 incurred losses in 2022, and 4 continued to suffer losses in the first quarter of 2023, with half experiencing revenue declines compared to the previous year. Analysts point out that these supermarkets, after 3 years of bleak operations and heavy debts, hoped for a rebound post-pandemic, but the recovery fell short of expectations. Some companies, already facing broken capital chains, seem to lack confidence in a market turnaround, choosing to close upon lease expiration. The closure of large commercial entities directly impacts the commercial real estate. Their closures lead to unrented spaces and difficulties in attracting new tenants, resulting in losses in rent and many other expenses. This series of closures among large retailers reflects a broader economic slowdown in China, puncturing the overly optimistic economic expectations set by international countries at the beginning of the year. According to a Nikkei Asia survey of economists, China's economic growth is expected to slow from the projected 5.2% in 2023 to 4.6% in 2024. 2 main factors affecting China's economic outlook are the continued slump in the real estate market and weak consumer spending. While S&P Global Ratings maintains its 4.6% growth forecast for China in 2024, it also notes that the economy could slow to almost 3%, which is heavily dependent on the real estate sector's performance. Nikkei Asia quotes Eunice Tan, Director of Credit Research in the Asia-Pacific region, saying, "The downturn in the real estate sector will become more apparent in 2024. She believes that the pain in the real estate sector will continue to drag on China's economic recovery, with property sales continuing in a negative cycle."